quick little side note I forgot to mention, when we were recording Liquid in the studio, the way we usually do things is we track it live as a band, and we'll do several takes until Chris feels like he got it, and then we'll start building on top of that. And we did the perfect take, and we all walked out like, yeah. And he's like, no. Because this one part, he goes, and he did it, what, an extra measure?
I think maybe the best way to do it is, if you don't mind, playing the verse and actually showing them how it works.
It's the second verse. But like, we were all stoked, we're like, we're done, we got it. He's like, eh.
So I think what he was anticipating was, he thought it was a half verse and he was going into the chorus, but it was an extra stanza of the verse. So you'll hear him like ramping up for the chorus on the recording, and that was a mistake, but we used it. A lot of mistakes on records, you'd never know. Step outside the world, your childhood's fears will soon drift away. Suddenly you're not with a handful of memories. If I stay perfectly still and remember the jokes and friends and folks. So is that?
You know, it's really fascinating. Thanks for understanding. I tried my best, but I played right through the bar line. I apologize, but it actually worked out.
We convinced him that we basically saved some studio time.
Like, dude, it was awesome, just leave it. Now, every time we play it, he just does it, so it's the part.
It works, because it was unusual, you know? Gotta be slightly unusual.
Alright, so the next one we're going to play for you guys is one that you voted for. We don't play very much, called The Haunt.
I'd like to say something real quick about it. I'm just realizing that all these songs are just like super heavy and thick and depressing. Like, happy Friday, everybody. But
so we actually kind of got a funny story about this.
Yeah, so real quick, the subject matter lyrically is about 9/11, because it was written right after that happened, and we played a show that night at a venue called The Haunt in Ithaca. So we don't need to get into 9/11, we all know what happened. But there's we'll bring some humor to the situation, because the whole weekend is ridiculous.
9/11, 2005.
So, you know, whenever we're on the road, we've been, this is 2001, so we've been staying in, like, you know, Days Inns and, you know, worse.
La Junta.
Is this the hot tub part? Is the hot tub part?
Yeah, so we, you know, Vince and I were looking around for someplace to stay, and we found this place that called itself The Band and Breakfast. It was like a Airbnb sort of type of thing. But he was like, listen, we got practice gear here. You guys can come stay. There's room for everybody. You guys can practice a bunch, or you know, be.
I mean, they normally house bands. That was like.
They normally house bands. It's like, oh, we got a hot tub here too.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Over there.
So
I'll let Ryan say
I'm a
something.
huge fan of hot tubs. Huge fan of hot tubs. So he's like, you want me to get the hot tub started up for you guys? I'm like, yeah. Hell yeah. So he's like, okay, it'll be a few minutes. And I didn't think anything of it. I'm like, okay, that's fine. So meanwhile, he's like scurrying from the kitchen back into where the hot tub was. And he's like, okay, guys, boys, the hot tub's ready. Get your suits. And we're like, okay. He had boiled pots of water on the stove and filled up a bathtub with boiling water, like we're fucking lobsters. And it wouldn't have fit uncomfortably. If Bayless and I were in that hot tub, it would have been very uncomfortable. He's like, get ready, boys.
And truth be told, I don't think that it was ready yet. There were still pots going on the stove. He's like, it's going to be about 30 minutes till I get all this water boiling.
Well, remember, Joe, it was like a cauldron, like a 30-gallon cauldron.
And he wanted to
like,
charge
it's taking a long
$20.
time for this water to get hot. I'm like, well, it's 30-gallon cauldron.
So we unfortunately had to pass on the hot tub part, but we thought, okay, at least we can practice. And so, you know, it was probably about 9:30 or 10 o'clock at night. We're getting stuff set up. You know, we probably got a case.
I mean, in the music world, that's very early.
Yeah, very early. So we start playing, you know, and maybe play a song or two, and all of a sudden the guy who runs the place comes in and says, so my girlfriend and I are gonna go to bed pretty soon. If you guys could wrap it up.
Wrap it up.
I mean, this guy, you know.
This fucking guy.
So anyway, we had to wrap it up. We had about a 3-song practice anyway, and that's when we started drinking heavily.
We ended up actually sitting outside and playing acoustic guitars for like 6 hours, and so we got some music in.
It was like a screened-in porch, and I remember Kevin Browning had a little digital tape recorder and this Neumann head thing that we used to carry around, which
George.
It had 2 awesome condenser capsules in the ears, so it was like a mannequin head with these awesome microphones in the ears, and you would place it wherever and get field recordings, basically. So I think there's a field recording of that night on the porch because we couldn't play in the living room. Thanks.
This is all Kevin's idea, and I look forward to, we're going to do another one of these where Kevin and Vince sit up here and talk about themselves for 90 minutes.
You guys got some fans?
This is The Hunt.